So this is something I'm pretty tired of seeing at this point, Christians or even and people of any religion, to be honest, people leaving religions for really dumb reasons or abstaining from religions for really dumb reasons. So I'm going to tell you all a story about my Roblox baseball days. And there was a guy named Beezerfab. Deleted his Discord account. I have no access to him. I don't know what his name was, this, that, and the third. I just played Roblox baseball against him in a two-team league that I owned. And we were talking in general chat, just going over, mulling over a bunch of random crap. And he brought up the fact of why he doesn't believe in God. Because the topic came up somehow. And he was saying, well, I don't like God. Essentially, this is what essentially he was saying. I don't like God because I don't believe in God because my grandma keeps making me pray, and I hate praying. Seriously, that's what he was saying. And like, well, that's why I don't believe in God. That's why I don't want to believe in God. This, that, and the third. And it's like, wow, what a terrible reason, Because when you think about it logically, that makes absolutely no sense. This goes for people saying, well, in the Old Testament, God commanded genocide, or in the Old Testament, God said slavery is okay, or I don't know, what's something from the New Testament? What did they say about the New Testament? I don't know. I think there's some verse about slaves in the New Testament as well. Oh well, the Bible's misogynistic, and in 1 Corinthians 14 it says a woman shall not speak in the church because it's a disgrace. How disgusting! That's so misogynistic. None of these things actually matter towards the truth of Christianity or the existence of God. These are purely emotional arguments. Like, well, I don't want to believe because it says this, and I don't like that. That's not a good reason not to believe. At the end of the day, whether or not Christianity is true comes down to whether God exists and if Jesus rose from the dead. Anything aside from that is a non sequitur when trying to disprove the truth of Christian doctrine. Now, can we address these points alone? I mean, to be honest, I think a lot of them are actually right. And this is going to be slightly controversial, but God did command slavery, or did at least condone it, in a sense, in the Old Testament. I don't think that's... Can we really argue against that? We don't need to argue against that. That's the thing. Because like, well, I got to explain for God, how slavery isn't wrong. Excuse me, how it actually isn't slavery. And what do I do? It's like you don't have to do anything. It doesn't matter. Same thing goes for like, well, I don't know if Noah's Ark was scientifically possible or not. Like people going like, well, Noah's Ark was scientifically impossible because I don't care. It doesn't matter at all. So don't be like Beezer Fab. Okay, if you're gonna leave a religion or if you're gonna join a religion, this goes for any religion. Actually, have good logical reasons, and this is something I've talked about in other videos. There's a wave of people going to Islam because, well, you know, Muslims, they're leading the fight. They're looking cool, this, that, and third. Well, how about explaining to me, giving me an argument for Muhammad's prophethood? How about that? Because isn't that what Islam's really about? The prophethood of Muhammad? If Muhammad isn't a true prophet, then how can Islam be true? Yet they're going into Islam without even considering whether or not Muhammad's a true prophet. How can you join the religion? And the same thing goes for people who go to Christianity. They're like, well, you know, I'm gonna become a Christian because mom's a Christian or something like that. But they don't even consider, well, did Jesus rise from the dead? Is this something I really believe? They don't even consider that. And this goes to all the Christians who, one of them, most of them don't read the Bible. And two, the ones who just, they start in the Old Testament and read the Old Testament, like, oh wow, that's interesting, blah, blah. That's not the basis of Christianity. The basis of Christianity is the good news, the Gospels. You read that when you start the New Testament, when you read Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John. And then, after that, you read the church letters. But no, let's read the Old Testament. Did Jesus rise from the dead? I don't even know Jesus' story, but I'm a Christian. Tired of hearing this. This goes back, again, to my other video about people not understanding religion. This is something that needs to change.